Hi everyone, it's your girl Crystal with Catching Up with Crystal, and today we're going to talk about how to apply for a passport. Stay tuned because I did do a video. I'm going to merge it in with this one. Earlier today, I wasn't sure if I'm allowed to video record inside the post office, but I did. I'm going to merge it in with this quick video that I'm going to do, and it'll provide a little bit more information. So today we're going to talk about the steps that you need to apply for a passport, in addition to the steps that you need to apply for a passport card. What's the difference between a passport book and a passport card? Well, a passport book, you can take this, get stamps in it. No matter where you go in the world, they will stamp this passport book. A passport card is good for if I was driving, because obviously I live in the United States. If I was driving from Canada to Mexico, then my passport card would be good. And for example, that's one way I would use it. And then, or if I didn't choose to spend the extra money to get the passport card, which looks like a driver's license, I could still get into Canada or Mexico with my passport book, and they would just stamp it for me. Okay, so I'm going to go over how to get a passport. United States passports are a navy blue color. They say United States of America on it. And you will notice when you travel that people from different countries have different colored passports, and ours are recognizable by the color. And of course, it says United States of America on the outside. Some people do have two passports. That is possible. If you have dual citizenship, it is possible to have two passports from two different countries. But if you're not a dual citizen, then you'll only have the one. And you only need the one if you really want to travel. There are benefits, though, to dual citizenship. People pay cheaper prices for things. Recently, when I was in Jamaica, I told somebody I was Jamaican just because they had the audacity to have posted that Jamaican citizens paid $10 less than anybody else. So I said I was Jamaican. I didn't have an accent. Nobody questioned me. They took the money, and I went into the event. So it is a benefit. There are benefits to having to dual citizenship. Okay, moving on. And I'm going to try not to talk too much because I talk too much. And I'm going to keep this video as short as possible while giving you the most amount of information. So if it's your first time applying for a passport, you are going to have to apply in person. So when I first got my passport, and I've had my passport renewed already at this point in my life, but when I first applied for a passport, I just went to the post office. You go to the bigger post offices. Some of the little ones don't do it, but if you go to the bigger, which are called like hubs that do a lot of things, they're like distribution centers for the tiny other post offices. If you go to one of those, sometimes they do passport services like the one that I went to, and they will, you can fill the application out there. They will take your photo for you there, and they will actually mail it out for you there. Like, you don't have to do anything outside of the post office. There are other government approved agencies, at least near the city that I live, near a big metropolitan city, and there are approved agencies that will assist you in getting a passport. Okay, so you must use a form called a DS-11. The DS-11 is kind of a brownish colored form. If you see this form, this is to renew your passport. That's the wrong form. You do not want the blue one. The DS-11 is the approved form. You must use the DS-11 form if you are applying for your first U.S. passport, if you are under the age of 16, if you your previous U.S. passport was issued when you were under the age of 16, your previous U.S. passport was lost, stolen, or damaged, or your previous passport was issued more than 15 years ago. You must fill out this, and you must apply in person. Okay, so you're going to fill out the DS-11, which is this. You're going to provide proof of your U.S. citizenship. So proof of your U.S. citizenship would be your birth certificate. When you do your when you submit your birth certificate, and I felt kind of weird about this because I was afraid I was going to lose, wasn't going to get my birth certificate back. But you want the long form of your birth certificate. So you want your mother's name on it, her full name with her name, you know, whether she was married or not, has to have, you know, her full name, your father's full name. If you know who your father is, you know who your mother is, your full name, whatever it is, you want the long form birth certificate, and you don't want the short version. So you could get that, and you want the raised seal. It has to have a seal. It has to be signed by a registrar. It has to be it had to be provided to you um, by a county, state, or city official, and it has to have something on it that that documents that you were born. It has to be signed and dated and documented that you were born within 1 year of your birth date. I hope that I was clear on that, meaning that the records that was filed with the state and the county will say that you were born on that date, and all of that documentation would have been taken place within 1 year of your birth. I don't care that you're 90 years old now. I don't mean that they would have did it when you were 89. I meant that when you were born 90 years ago, maybe that's a little late. Let's say 60 years ago, you would have that information that you were born and it was documented, and you were registered with the Office of Vital Statistics, or whatever your office is called in your state or county. Okay, so you want that. And I did have to mail that off, and I did get it back. I was a little nervous about that, but if I'm not mistaken, they might take a photocopy. But anywho, moving on. If you were not born in this country, you can provide a certificate of naturalization or a certificate of citizenship as evidence. Okay. All right. So when you fill out, you want to bring a photocopy. When you fill out the DS11 form, which is this, when you open it, it's going to be in triplicate. And this is the actual application. It has instructions on it. This page here will tell you what you need and how to go about filling it out. But you can fill it. It's not rocket science. You can fill it out yourself. It is going to ask you to provide a photo to attach here. You can't have photos from the club or, you know, photos from your cruise or whatever. It has to be one of those small 2x2 photos. It has to have a white background. Now, you can take it yourself and save you some money, but it has to be a white background. Can't be anything else going on in there. Your eyes have to be open. It has to look very professional. I did not get mine done the second time at the post office. I went right to Walgreens, and I think it cost me $2. They provided it for me. I know the UPS stores also provide you with, they can also take passport photo pictures. There's a lot of places these days, but it has to be the 2x2 forms. So you would fill out this DS11 form, and you would attach the photo here. Okay. All right. Okay. The photo has to be in color. It has to include your head. It has to be taken no less than 6 months before your application. You cannot have glasses on. You cannot have a head covering on. You cannot wear a hat. And you have to have a plain white background. Your head has to be facing directly to the camera, and they want the picture to be printed on matte or glossy. They want a full face view, so you can't do any of this. It has to be full face on. Nothing, no hat, no glasses. Okay? No glasses. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's talk about the next thing, which is you will have to show ID. You're going to have to show your driver's license. They will also accept, actually, if you have a passport that's expired, they'll accept that as ID. They will take a certificate of naturalization, certificate of citizenship, any government ID that's issued by the county, the state, your city, they will accept that. They will take a military ID. as proof of identification. They're just looking to identify who you are. They will take a learner's permit. They will take a non-driver's license. They will take a temporary driver's license. All of those things are valid. Okay. And then you're going to bring bring in a copy of the photo ID. You will submit a photocopy of that, and you can take a copy of your ID, because of course you're not going to give them your original driver's license or anything like that. You can take a photocopy of that. It has to be on 8.5 by 11 white paper, single, no front and back, because they're going to want a copy of the front and the back. So you're going to provide 2 separate pieces of paper, one of the front of your ID, one of the back of your ID. They don't want a double-sided paper. Okay. And then you are going to calculate the fees. So if you're doing it on your own, the cost of the passport book, which is this, the passport book is $130 for adults who are 16 years of age or older, and then for minors it's $100. For the passport card, which looks like a driver's license, it's $30, but it's $15 for minors. And then if you want both, because I wanted both, it was $160 for both. Okay. The cost of the photo at the post office is $15, and your girl is cheap. That's why I got mine for $2 at Walgreens, and it was fine, and I didn't have a problem. Okay. Now, how long does it take to get a passport? So they will tell you anywhere between 5 and 7 weeks. I got mine back both times, the last 2 times within 3 to 4 weeks. I think they're doing pretty good with that. You can ask for it to be expedited, and that will cost you $60 if you really, know that you got a trip plan. And I know people who have paid to have it expedited, and it came back in the same amount of time as if it would have been, if they didn't pay for it to be expedited. So you go ahead and spend that $60 if you want. Or, to me, it's not worth it. But if you got to get out the country that quick, you can pay $60 to have it expedited. You also can pay for this by personal check or a money order. If you do the money order or the check, you have to have it make the check and money order made out to the U.S. Department of State. Okay. And of course, you can buy those at the post office. Money orders can be bought at the post office. Okay. So I guess that's it. I hope this has been helpful. I tried to make it quick and dirty. Please pay attention to the rest of this video, because I did do a quick link up with a video from earlier today. I'll merge them together, and maybe that's a little bit helpful. This is Catching Up with Crystal. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell notification so that you know when new content is posted. I appreciate your views. I appreciate you watching me. Please stay tuned with Catching Up with Crystal. Life is what you make it, so make the most out of life. Thank you, and have a great day. Hi, it's Crystal with Catching Up with Crystal. Good morning. I'm at the post office this morning. I'm going to see if I could take you guys in with me, so that I can show you the process on how to get a passport. Let's see if we can go in here and get away with it. I don't know if I'm supposed to be filming in the post office or not, but let's see what happens. When I got my passport, I filled everything out myself, and it started with me going to the post office and getting the application. Not all post offices process passport applications, but some do. This one processes the application, and it takes the picture. Okay, so you need an appointment to apply for the passport Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. here, Saturday, 8 to 11. It says you will need to fill out the Form DS-11 application. You will need a state-certified birth certificate with a raised seal, and it must have at least one parent's name, must be on the birth certificate, and a photocopy of the birth certificate. The parents identified on the birth certificate must be present for minors 15 or younger. Signed naturalization certificate with a photocopy, photo ID, and a photocopy of the front and back of the ID on the same page. Government issued state ID, license, passport, or military ID are acceptable forms of identification. And then a 2x2 passport photo, which you can actually get done at a Walgreens, which is what I did. So the cost for routine processing, which takes 8 to 11 weeks for you to get your passport back, is 8 to 11 weeks. You can pay extra $60 to get it back in 5 to 7 weeks. And you can also pay for overnight express $18.32. Passport cards cannot be express overnight returned. All passport fees must be paid by personal check or money order to the U.S. Department of State. Money orders can be purchased at the post office. The processing fee is $35. Any form of payment. Photo fee, if you want them to take your picture, is $15. Anyone needing a passport in less than 3 weeks should make an appointment with the Regional Passport Agency. That phone number is 1-877-487-2778 to schedule it. In order to make an appointment for your passport, you would then go to this website, and then this is the form. Can you use this form? This is for renewing your application. So this is for renewal of your application, and then this is for the actual passport application.